What's up, guys? How's it going? Active Daily. This is my first business day not being at the car lot. It was a little weird waking up, not having to be somewhere. Well, that's not true. I actually woke up and went to go coach class at CrossFit K Block this morning about 6 a.m. So I did have somewhere to be in the morning. However, after that, it was a little weird. It kind of felt like everything slowed down, which was kind of nice, to be honest, kind of nice. Then again, it is day one. So I ended up logging on to something called lynda.com. They have a bunch of online courses and whatnot. So just, learning how to build a website. So the nice part is there's a lot of sites out there that are like kind of plug and play, drag and drop and whatnot. So yeah, did a little bit of that. Just had to do a couple of errands, drove over the hill, over to IAEA, and now just heading back on H3. I tried out this car mount that was recommended to me by one of my good coworkers, or now ex-coworkers and good friends. And then hopefully is this a weird angle? I'm not sure. I'm gonna take a look at the video. So it seems to look okay. Main thing is I can still drive safely because I don't want to stare at the camera too much. And yeah, make some videos, randomly rant like I'm doing right now. I was reading from one of my books this morning. It's about having a bulletproof spirit and being able to bounce back from life's hits. And it's also a book on forgiveness. And the chapter I was reading, or just finished reading, was called Reconsider Consistency. Super interesting topic. For those of you that follow me on Instagram and all that stuff, I had posted a picture of this woman, Admiral Grace Hopper, and one of her famous quotes, which was, and I believe I'm saying it right, the most damaging phrase in our language is, "It's always been done that way." So the whole idea of reconsidering consistency, the reason I found it super interesting, or actually the timing of reading this chapter was kind of funny, because this is also the week I stopped working at my full-time job. Something I've been doing since December 3rd, 2001. That was my first day on a car lot. And today, or my last day on the car lot, was July 3rd, 2017. So quite a bit of time in between the two, especially since that's basically my whole adult life. So yeah, long story short about reconsidering consistency is, like, if it's not fulfilling, if it's not, helping you grow, if it's not making you happy, but it is something that you've always done and it's always been done that way, or something that feels comfortable for you, there's just some questions that you may want to ask yourself. Kind of like I did when it came to selling cars. For example, I came off my best couple of years ever in the car business, but on top of that, and as awesome as that was, I looked down the road and I asked myself, just 2 years, even 2 years down the road, what'll happen if I, write more articles for my car blog, if I start posting videos on that instead of Active Recovery Life, if I continue to do the things I was doing, posting cars on Craigslist, staying in contact with all my customers, whether they bought something from me, or the ones that I'm meeting now that may or may not buy something from me, and the text calls and emails that I make and receive from people who have bought cars from me over the years. If I keep doing all that, 2 years from now, what's going to happen? There's a good chance, or the answer I came up with is, there's a good chance that I'll end up selling 50 to 100% more cars, which in our business could be easily 100% more income. So in other words, coming off of a good income, I could double that easily, if not a little bit more. But after 2 years, what would I have? I would have more money, which is awesome. And don't get me wrong, I know we could all use more money. It'd be super helpful for living in life in America and Hawaii. But that's it. But that's all I would have. I would have more connections and whatnot. I would have some good, fulfilling experiences helping these folks out. But there would still be this thing inside that would be pulling me towards doing what I'm doing now, Active Recovery Life. It would still be pulling me towards talking about recovery, helping to educate more people on addiction, helping people in recovery. And then, of course, the big thing is I believe in, fitness. And one of the things that helped me out when I got into recovery is getting moving, right? Exercise just makes us feel better. Moving around makes us feel better. We feel awful when we lay around too long. And I'm a big proponent of laying around, but, in its place. So that's what I came up with. 2 years from now, I'd have more money, which is great, but that thing inside would still be pulling me towards doing active recovery life. So honestly, I'd probably be a lot more frustrated over 2 years of not giving this burning desire, or whatever you want to call it, not giving it the proper attention. And then two, the next thing that I found out is, the next thing that I answered was, there's a bunch of trips that we have coming up, little trips, outer island to, bigger, longer, get out of the country type of trips. And working where I was working, there's only so many vacation hours that you accumulate. And even though I had been there at the Toyota dealership almost 5 years, I still, wasn't I was still burning through all my vacation hours super fast. As you guys know, I was just in Vegas, burned all my vacation hours. So there's somewhere we want to go, and in about 2 months, there's no way I'd have enough vacation hours to take another 1 week trip, let alone a 2-week trip. So that's what I would have. In 2 years, I would have more frustration because of this thing that I'm not paying attention to and not giving energy to. And then on top of that frustration would be another level of frustration from not being able to go on these trips. With the time, time with family, this, that, and the other. So it's funny that I read that chapter, like I said, because I ended up reconsidering consistency, even though I wasn't calling it that. So for anybody else out there, reconsidering consistency could be maybe the relationship you're in, if things aren't going well, or not that things aren't going well, but if there's maybe a little bit too many downs and not enough ups, and it's just a comfortable kind of thing. Reconsidering consistency, even with working out, if you do the same thing over and over and over again with your body, if you're always doing the same sets and reps, if you're always doing 3 sets of 10 on Mondays for chest, or 3 sets of 10 for, bicep curls on Tuesday, or if you're always trying to hit 100% and max out your snatch and clean and jerk every time you go in the gym, you're not going to make any progress that way, right? So it's funny because consistency is key with hard work in order to make progress, but sometimes you got to reevaluate that consistency and see, man, if you're doing too much of the wrong thing, that's not going to get you where you want to go, most likely. So in either which way, appreciate you guys watching, listen to me ramble. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Active Recovery Life, reconsider consistency, and be well, my friends.